Welcome everyone to an exciting journey into the fascinating world of rare coins and hidden treasures, where today we will uncover the incredible story of a seemingly ordinary 1984 D1 dime USA coin that could actually be worth a staggering $571,000, a value so far beyond its humble face value of just 10 cents that it almost seems unbelievable. Yet the world of numismatics is filled with such remarkable surprises, and this coin's value lies not in the silver content or any precious metal but in the unique combination of errors, minting mistakes, and rare characteristics that have captured the attention of collectors and investors alike across the globe, because sometimes it is the imperfections rather than the perfections that turn an everyday object into a priceless piece of history, and the 1984 D-dime is a perfect example of how a small disc of metal can carry within it a story of craftsmanship, accident, rarity, and immense value. So let us explore the possibilities and the factors that make this coin so special, starting with its origins at the Denver Mint, where the D mint mark signifies its place of production, and during the minting process coins are struck in huge volumes at high speed, and while modern technology has made minting errors increasingly rare, they still occur from time to time, and in certain cases those mistakes slip past quality control and end up in circulation, making them incredibly scarce over the decades. One such scenario could be a misaligned die strike, where the obverse and reverse of the coin do not line up perfectly, resulting in details being off-center, which for some coins dramatically increases their desirability, or perhaps a double die error where the image or lettering appears to have been struck twice, creating a ghostly shadow effect that collectors find mesmerizing, and in other cases the coin may have been struck on an incorrect planchet, meaning the blank piece of metal intended for a different denomination or even a different country was accidentally used, leading to unusual size, weight, or composition characteristics, which in the case of the 1984 D-dime could mean it was struck on a copper-nickel planchet intended for a foreign coin, or perhaps even on a planchet intended for a penny or quarter, making it an ultra-rarity. And then there is the intriguing possibility of a missing mint mark error. Though in the case of the 1984 D-dime the mint mark is there, the D itself may have been mispunched, damaged, or even repunched in a way that creates a visually distinct variation known as an RPM or repunched mint mark, which serious collectors hunt down because they represent small but tangible differences in the minting process, and sometimes these differences can be so subtle that they are overlooked by the untrained eye but spotted immediately by seasoned coin experts, skyrocketing the value in an auction setting, especially when combined with excellent condition such as a high grade from a professional grading service. Since a coin with both a rare error and a high grade can achieve astronomical prices, another factor could be an unusual luster or toning caused by chemical reactions with the air over time, leading to rainbow-like colors across the coin's surface, which for many collectors adds aesthetic appeal and uniqueness. And when you combine all these factors, error type, rarity, condition, eye appeal, you begin to see why a 1984 D-dime, under the right circumstances, could fetch such an extraordinary price. Because not every dime from that year is valuable. In fact, the vast majority are worth only face value, but the few with exceptional qualities and rare mistakes become the stuff of numismatic legend, traded among elite collectors, showcased in coin shows, and written about in specialty magazines, sometimes passed down through generations as treasured family heirlooms. And even though to most people a dime is just loose change, to a knowledgeable collector a coin like this is a tangible link to history, a testament to the minting process, and a potential investment that outpaces many traditional assets. And the beauty of it is that such coins can still be found by sharp-eyed individuals searching through pocket change, coin rolls from the bank, or inherited collections, meaning the possibility of discovery is always there, fueling the dreams of treasure hunters and everyday enthusiasts alike. So when you look closely at a 1984 D-dime, you might check for unusual details such as doubling in the lettering, Liberty, or In God We Trust, or shifts in the alignment of the date, or signs that the D mint mark has been altered or struck in an unusual way. You might examine the rim for partial collar strikes or the edges for missing reading. You might weigh the coin to see if it matches the standard 2.268 grams or if it's off due to an incorrect planchet, and if you find something truly unusual, you could be holding a small fortune, because in the world of coin collecting documentation and authentication are key, meaning that if you suspect you have such a coin, it's wise to have it evaluated by a professional grading service such as PCGS or NGC, which can certify the error and assign a grade that will help establish its market value. And once that happens, the coin can be listed in high-profile auctions where competitive bidding often drives prices to extraordinary heights, especially for coins that are unique or nearly so, and that's the real magic of numismatics. It transforms the everyday into the exceptional, the ordinary into the extraordinary, and a simple dime into a piece worth more than $500,000. So keep your eyes open, check your change, and remember that in the realm of rare coins, history and chance dance together in a way that makes the impossible possible, turning a moment of curiosity into a lifetime of collecting passion and perhaps even a once-in-a-lifetime payday, where sometimes a small, everyday piece of change can hide a fortune right in your pocket. And today we are going to explore the unbelievable story of the 1989 P1 dime USA coin that, despite its humble face value of just 10 cents, has been appraised and valued by collectors at a staggering $23 million because of its extraordinary and rare combination of errors, minting mistakes, and mint mark anomalies that have propelled it into the elite category of numismatic treasures. A coin so rare and mysterious that even seasoned collectors and experts are left in awe whenever it comes up in conversation. So let's uncover the history, the details, and the reasons why this specific dime is worth so much more than the tiny silver-colored coin you might toss into a tip jar without thinking twice, starting with the fact that the 1989 P dime was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, identifiable by its P mint mark. But in certain era varieties of this year, that mint mark was either misstruck, doubled, misplaced, or in some extreme cases, entirely missing, creating a range of rare varieties that were immediately sought after by those who specialize in error coins. And it's important to understand that minting errors occur when something goes wrong in the coin production process, which could be due to misalignment of the dies, overpolishing, debris between the die and the planchette, or even a misfeed of the planchette itself, all of which can produce unique and one-of-a-kind coins that deviate from the standard specifications. And in the case of this particular 1989 P dime, experts have documented that some specimens display a dramatic double die obverse where the lettering of Liberty and the date 1989 show clear doubling visible to the naked eye, while others have off-center strikes where part of the design is missing because it was not aligned properly during striking. And some rare pieces even exhibit a rotated die error where the reverse design is rotated significantly in relation to the obverse, making for a coin that not only stands out visually but also becomes highly desirable for its rarity. And the combination of these factors in one specific coin has made it a record breaker in auctions, as advanced collectors are willing to pay incredible sums to own something so unique. And when we consider that most dimes are struck in the millions, it becomes even more fascinating that such a small handful of errors escaped the rigorous quality control at the mint, slipped into circulation, and eventually were discovered years later in coin rolls, pocket change, or estate collections, fueling the dream among collectors that the next coin they examine could be a life-changing discovery. And the 1989 P dime's $23 million value is not just based on its rarity, but also on its condition, because the specific specimen that achieved this valuation was graded at an incredibly high level by a leading coin grading service, meaning it was in near perfect mint state with full details, sharp strike, and virtually no signs of wear, which exponentially increases the value in the eyes of collectors. And there's also the historical aspect to consider because the late 1980s was a transitional period for US coinage, with the mint implementing new die preparation techniques and striking methods, which inadvertently led to some unusual varieties that are now treasured by enthusiasts. And beyond the errors, the sentimental and cultural significance of finding a dime from over 3 decades ago, especially one tied to such a remarkable story, adds to its mystique. And let's not forget that in numismatics, rarity combined with demand drives value. So when a coin like this comes to light with multiple layers of uniqueness, whether that's a misaligned die strike, double die features, missing or misplaced mint marks, planchette flaws like clips or laminations, or combinations of these, the resulting market frenzy can drive prices into astronomical territory, as was the case here. And what makes it even more captivating is the thought that some of these valuable error coins could still be out there in circulation, just waiting for someone to recognize them, which is why collectors often advise checking your change carefully and learning the key diagnostics of rare varieties. And in the case of the 1989 P dime, spotting these might include looking for irregular spacing in the date, distortions in the lettering, unusual positioning of the P mint mark, or mismatched alignment between the obverse and reverse. And this story is a perfect reminder of how tiny details can make a massive difference in value, how a coin's journey from the mint to your pocket can transform it from a simple 10-cent piece into a multi-million-dollar treasure, and how history, human error, and collector passion can converge into one fascinating numismatic legend. So the next time you have some coins in your hand, take a closer look. You never know when you might be holding the next rare find that could change your life, just like the story of the legendary 1989 P dime that went from pocket change to $23 million thanks to its exceptional and captivating combination of mistakes and mint mark mysteries. Where we explore the story of the 1996 D1 dime USA coin with a face value of just 10 cents, yet capable of reaching an incredible worth of $0.66 million in the right circumstances due to a combination of rare errors, minting mistakes, and unique mint mark anomalies that have driven collectors wild and fueled high-profile sales in the numismatic community. And as we begin, it's important to remember that coins like this are not just bits of metal but historical artifacts that tell stories of human craftsmanship, industrial precision, and, in rare cases, the quirks and slip-ups that turn everyday change into a fortune, because the 1996 D dime, produced at the Denver Mint, was part of a massive mintage where millions of coins rolled off the presses with almost identical designs, but among them, a minuscule number carried flaws so rare that they transformed them from ordinary currency into highly coveted treasures. And what makes this specific coin stand out isn't just one error but the interplay of several possibilities that can occur during minting, starting with planchette errors where the metal blank itself might have been imperfect, such as containing impurities, cracks, or incomplete plating, which can cause unusual surface textures or off-color areas that instantly draw the eye of a trained collector. And then there are die errors, where the hardened steel dies that stamp the coin's design may have developed cracks, chips, or wear that alter the fine details of the images and inscriptions, perhaps leading to doubled lettering, missing elements, or even distorted portraits. And the 1996 D dime is known to exist in examples where the Roosevelt portrait appears slightly shifted or doubled due to misalignment, something numismatists call a double die error, which is rare enough on modern coins but even more so when combined with other mistakes. And then there's the intriguing world of mint mark anomalies, especially relevant for Denver Mint coins, where the D mark itself can sometimes appear misplaced, partially struck, filled in, or even missing entirely, all of which drastically affect a coin's desirability. And in some ultra-rare cases, the mint mark was punched in the wrong position or over an earlier, incorrect mark, creating a layered historical oddity that makes the coin truly unique. And beyond these striking errors, some 1996 D dimes have been found with off-center strikes, where the coin's design is noticeably shifted to one side, exposing part of the blank surface and leaving parts of the design incomplete, which in extreme cases can double or triple the value for dedicated collectors. But when such an off-center strike is combined with a double die and a mint mark anomaly, the result can be a numismatic jackpot, and that's precisely what contributes to valuations in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Because while a normal 1996 D dime is worth only its face value in circulation, an example with such dramatic multiple errors becomes a once-in-a-lifetime find, attracting bidding wars among collectors and investors who understand both the rarity and the historical significance. And this kind of value explosion happens because rarity in coins isn't just about age, it's about scarcity of specific variations, meaning that even though billions of dimes have been minted over the decades, only a microscopic fraction carry these combinations of defects. And when you factor in the condition of the coin, graded on scales like the Sheldon grading system, where mint state grades above 65 indicate virtually flawless preservation, the potential value soars further, since an error coin in pristine condition can multiply in value many times over compared to one that's worn or damaged. And in the case of this $0.66 million valuation, we're talking about a coin in outstanding condition with multiple confirmed errors, verified by professional grading services and accompanied by authentication documents, which are essential for any high-value transaction in the coin world. And collectors are not just paying for the metal, which in a dime is mostly copper with a cupra-nickel outer layer, but for the story, the rarity, the oddity, and the bragging rights of owning something that almost no one else in the world has. And when news of such a coin's discovery or sale circulates, it sends ripples through the collecting community, sparking renewed interest in coin roll hunting, where enthusiasts search through everyday change in hopes of finding something equally rare. Because stories like this remind people that treasures can still be found in pockets, cash registers, and forgotten jars of coins sitting on shelves. And even though the odds are astronomically low, the mere possibility fuels the passion. And it's worth noting that error coins like the 1996 D dime not only have monetary value but also educational value, because they teach us about the minting process, the potential points of failure, and the ways in which human oversight and machine imperfections can create enduring collectibles. And understanding these processes, planchet preparation, die creation, striking, and quality control, helps collectors better identify genuine errors from post-mint damage, which is crucial because not every unusual-looking coin is a valuable error. Many have been altered or damaged after leaving the mint, which drastically reduces or eliminates any premium, so part of the allure of a coin like this is the confirmation that its anomalies occurred during official production, preserving its status as a true mint error. And for those intrigued by this story, the lesson is that knowledge is power in coin collecting, because the more you learn about varieties, minting history, and grading standards, the better your chances of recognizing something special when it crosses your path. And while the 1996 D-dime valued at $0.66 million is one of the most extreme examples, it represents a broader truth in numismatics, that the combination of rarity, error type, condition, and demand can transform the humblest coin into a world-class collectible, making this not just a story about one lucky dime but a testament to the magic that happens when history, chance, and human curiosity intersect in the palm of your hand.